Good afternoon, sociology students. This is Dr. Pimentel. I am fortunate enough today to have Chuey Martinez join the Soch Talk with the Doc
Yeah.
series. And so without further ado, Chuey Martinez, how are you doing today, brother?
What's up, you guys? How you doing? Doctor. Damn, bro. Doctor. How does one get the title doctor? How many degrees do you have to have?
It's really about 3 degrees. So you get your bachelor's, your master's, and your doctorate. I kind of extended that time. So I did a bachelor's, 2 masters, was working on a 3rd master's, ditched that program to go get a doctorate instead.
Wow. So you have your bachelor's, 2 master's degrees, and your doctorate.
Yes, and I'm halfway through another master's program right now.
Another master's program.
Yes, sir.
You're a beast, bro.
It's an exhausting process, but anything to
Wow.
enhance the learning experience of the students. And it's been a
that.
fun
Love
academic journey.
Yeah, man. My academic journey, is an interesting one. I'm a college dropout, so it's just like, it was for me and it wasn't for me. Like, I took bits and pieces of what I really felt like I needed to learn in college, and then I was like, you know what? Everything else I need to learn, I'm not going to learn it here in this classroom. I have to go experience it. So I just had to do my thing, man. But you know what? That's beautiful that you have all your degrees. Like, I would love to go back to school and finish. So maybe that's another conversation me and you have off camera to maybe make that happen. But yeah,
Definitely.
I should have been an attorney. I really wanted to be an attorney. But we'll have that conversation one day, bro.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm here to help any way I can.
Thanks, man. Thank you,
but
brother.
once again, I really appreciate you joining me today. And we're going to go through a number of questions related to your life. I always like my students to, understand the upbringing and the life experiences of individuals that they see on television, or they might hear on the radio, or in some cases might see you at the club.
Right. Oh, yeah, for sure. You might see that too.
Yeah, definitely. So if you don't mind, can you share a little bit of information about, your childhood, where you grew up,
Wow.
what your educational experiences were like?
Yeah. Again, my name is Chuey Martinez. I'm born and raised in LA. I was born in Echo Park, in the Queen of Angels Hospital. It's not the Queen of Angels Hospital anymore, but the building is still there. It's right off the freeway in Echo Park. I was born there, man. Spent some time in Highland Park. We got evicted from our home when I was 5 years old. Then went to go stay with my grandmother in East LA at the time, SGV area. I had family in Lincoln Heights and I have family in the SGV. So I was always going back and forth. And of course, to be with my tia also in Echo Park. So that was, the East Side was like those my stomping grounds, Echo Park, Rosemead, Lincoln Heights, Boyle Heights, Montebello, just that whole little area, like City Terrace. We were just being bad, running around those streets when I was young. But yeah, man, spent some time there, and I loved it. Living with my grandmother, living with my tias in the back. My tia was in the back, my grandma was in the front house, and we were in the middle, and it was great, man. It was a beautiful experience, growing up with such strong women. Helping them raise me, helping my mom getting help raising me, from them, and it was great. And after the LA riots, man, LA riots happened. And if you're from LA and you were LA and you were old enough to kind of experience that, the National Guard was kind of like what's going on now with like quarantine and people staying home. Back then we had curfews, so if you were caught on the streets of Los Angeles, when the sun came down at a certain time, you'd be detained. So if you weren't in your home, they were going to throw you in a car and take you to jail to spend the night. So it was kind of nuts. And the National Guard was helping the LAPD at the time, kind of enforce all these rules. I don't know how that would go now if they tried to do that, because they try to quarantine people and try to tell us to stay home, and we're seeing what happened with that. We need haircuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just my mom saw that, and she just saw the National Guard rolling through our neighborhood, and she was just like, you know what? I don't want to raise you in LA no more. Like, we got to get out of here. So my mother made the decision that we needed a change. We needed a fresh beginning, and that fresh beginning was in Phoenix, Arizona. And went to, actually, my great grandparents at the time really needed help, so we went to Phoenix, Arizona, to not only help them, but just for a new beginning. So I went from a pretty bad neighborhood, pretty rough part of LA, to an even worse part in Phoenix, Arizona. It was pretty brutal. I went from dealing with Mexican gangs to dealing with just Crip gangs, and it was different. Lived in a pretty rough neighborhood in Phoenix, Arizona. It's like the west side of Phoenix, and just did my thing, man. Kind of kept my head down, kind of kept out of trouble. I was really involved in school. I did a lot of activities. I played football. I was a football player, did baseball, did track, did all kinds of stuff. Just anything to keep me out of trouble. Just didn't get caught up in none of that like street stuff, and just kind of like did my thing. And got one day a radio station came to my high school. I was 16 at the time, and I saw the guy, the DJ. He was like on stage, giving CDs away. For all the kids that don't know what a CD is, it was these plastic things that were like circular. They had music on them, and you put them into a machine, and they'd play the music. I don't know if you guys have CDs anymore. But yeah, it's like saw the DJ. He was on stage rocking the mic. He was going crazy. He was on stage like giving shirts away, and just hyping us up. And I loved it. And I saw him, and I was just like, you know what? I can do that for the rest of my life. I don't care how much money I make. I just want to do that. I just want to have that. I want to have that kind of power over a crowd. And and my boys were like, whatever, it's never going to happen. And luckily, the city bus I would take to school every day passed by this radio station where he worked. So I would get off on that stop on the city bus, and then I would go apply. I applied at this radio station. If not every other day, every week, until they hired me. It was kind of crazy. It was like the persistence was on 1 million when it came to me and wanting to be a part of this radio station. So we made that happen, brother. And the marketing director at the time came in, saw me in the lobby filling out an application, and the receptionist was completely sick of me. She didn't want to deal with my ass no more. So the guy came in, marketing director came in, saw, and he was like, "You're Chuey Martinez." And I was just like, "Yeah, I'm Chuey Martinez." He goes, "Get over here, kid." Takes me to his office. He's like, "You see all those applications right there?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" He goes, "Like half of those are yours." I was just like, "Cool." Like what's up? Like, I need a job. And then he gave me a stack of t-shirts and said, you start next week. So I couldn't believe it. And that was kind of like the jump off of everything that was to come. That was like Chuey Martinez in Radio Chapter 1, so it was the persistence, and it was just like that passion, bro, that I had for, just music at the time, and just media, just being in part of media. I really wanted to be doing something like that, because I'd been hosting talent shows since I was in like third grade. That's when I hosted my first talent show. Third grade, man. Shout out to my teacher, Ms. Graffius. Thank you, man. Good looks. She was just like, "You can host it." I was just like, you sure? She was like, "Trust me, you're good. You talk all day in the class. You're going to be good if I hand you a microphone and you can be able to do this." And I did it, man. And that was like the first time I had the microphone in my hand in third grade. I was like, yo, like I'm all right. Like I think I thrive in those kind of situations, man. And just radio happened. 16, got really my first radio like hosting gig, like when I was 19 years old. I got my first radio job. Like I'm on the radio talking, 19, and then decided to come back to LA, man. Decided to come back to LA, and around late 2001 and early 2002. It's like so much happened in 2001, like 9/11. 9/11 happened, after that, I was just kind of like feeling a certain way. I was just like, you know what, man, life is too short. This is crazy. Like, we got to make things happen. And then I just decided I was going to leave college, man. I was going to go back to Los Angeles. And I told my mother this. It was crazy, man. I told my mother this on like a Tuesday. By Thursday, I had all my stuff packed in my car, ready to come to LA. It was kind of nuts. And she was just like, "What are you going to do out there? ¿Qué vas a hacer?" I was like, "I'm just going to work hard and just make it happen." She said, "Do you have a place to stay? Do you have a job?" Of course, I was telling her yes, yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't have anything lined up in LA, brother. I didn't have nothing in LA lined up. I had an internship at a record label. So funny, funniest experience ever. The only internship I've ever had. But moving to Los Angeles, I had to start. I had to start from the ground up. I was starting all over again. So I didn't have a place to stay at the time. Slept in my car in Burbank. I was home. I was homeless for a couple of weeks, which sucks. Sleeping in my car in Burbank. I didn't really have to worry about anything but raccoons and possums and all the wildlife that's kind of in that area because it's close to the mountains right there. And all I had to worry about was those possums and raccoons jumping on my Jeep while I was asleep, and that was pretty much it. Never had to worry about any park rangers, but I was good. And just kind of worked my way up, got my foot in the door at Kiss FM in LA. I was still didn't really have a place to live, but I had a gym membership. So, and there was an awesome dry cleaning spot that I still go to this day. It's called Milton Eddy's. So Milton Eddy's, I would get all my dry cleaning, all my laundry done there. I'd have it nice and stacked up in the trunk. It looked beautiful, yo. And I had a gym membership. So if I had any meetings or anything, I needed to shave, shower, work out, I'd go to the gym, I'd figure it out, and then boom, I was on my way. And then man, just was on the grind until I got my foot in the door in Kiss, worked my way up, got a promotions director position, did that for a little while, got on the radio again, because here I had radio experience in Phoenix, but there wasn't really any openings in Los Angeles at the time. So I just worked my way up, brother, and that turned into a gig at Latino 96.3 in 2005, and did nights there, did afternoons there, did morning show there. It's crazy. Then after that, went back to Kiss FM. Did a night show there, do weekends, do mixed show, and now I do mixed shows in Kiss FM. And with all that, having the massive platform that I have that is doing radio in a big market like LA, other opportunities come. So, I did Travel Channel for a season. I was the first Latino to have his very own show on Travel Channel. Did a bunch of stuff on MTV Tres, was one of the first VJs ever hired on MTV Tres. That was fun. Did that for like about 7 years. It was nuts. It was crazy. It was great. It was a great time. I've done stuff with ESPN, hosted a game show on Fox. Wow. Now I'm on Fox again on Dish Nation. I do that every single day and we're syndicated in a bunch of markets. I think over 60 markets we're on. And then I have the Chuey Martinez show that's on the El Rey Network. Work with Robert Rodriguez. He's my executive producer. If you know Robert Rodriguez, he's done all kinds of movies. He just did Alita, Battle Angel, and he's done like Spy Kids and a bunch of other stuff. He's great guy, great dude. And yeah, man, doing that, and then just doing Dish Nation, Chuey Martinez show, doing radio, doing a lot of writing right now, especially now in quarantine. A lot of time to do the writing. It's what I really wanted to do. It's a real passion of mine to write, but I have severe ADD, and I cannot concentrate for the life of me, brother. Like I'm an idea machine. I can come up with a beginning, middle, end of a story. It's just for me to like concentrate and stay in one place for a good amount of time. It's tough for me. It's real tough. So just doing a lot of writing, man. Doing some acting too. Producing. Just executive produced my first short film called For Rosa. I'll send you the link to that so you can send it to your students and they can watch that, man. It's about the Madrigal 10, a group of women who were sterilized in the 1970s while giving birth without their consent. And we're telling a story. We're telling some stories about that. And it's just a beautiful project, and I want the world to see it. So that's the first thing I EP. It's a short film. It's a brilliant film. And just doing that, brother, and just keeping busy, keeping sane, taking care of my family during this crazy quarantine, these crazy times of Rona, and just trying to stay sane and not go crazy,
Yeah, you've had a great career, and you're still young, so your career is only going to get stronger, right?
Yeah, brother, it's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts. I'm just blessed to just be able to do what I love every single day. It's definitely a blessing, brother, because I know there are a lot of people out there that wake up every single morning miserable and hating their job or hating their situation. I've thank God I've never really had those those kinds of situations or been in those situations. But again, we have to understand that we have the power to change. We have the power to change anything, and your beginning should never dictate the way your life should end, or the way your life should just be go. Like I knew that everybody has a story. I had a story. I have a story. It was a rough beginning. It was a horrible beginning. It was a horrible middle. But you know what? It's just the way you overcome all these craziness, man. All this craziness, and I've overcame it, man. I've overcame it, and now it's like now with the tools and the resources that I have, it's just like now I have to help and empower and pay it forward, and make sure like kids and people that are in situations that were in similar situations that I was or grew up in, I got to make sure that they come out on top and come out champions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. So going back to the early parts of the story you were telling about your journey or your return back to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
How did you find the confidence to do that? I mean, to take that leap of faith, not necessarily having a secure housing situation, a secure a job. What gave you that confidence to go from A to B?
It was, you know what? I think the confidence came from just my mother, and just, being on the phone with her, and being on the phone with her, and her telling me, "Mijo, if this doesn't work out, you can always come back home. You have your home here. You have your room. You have your." Oh my God! Like it was always that. It was always that if I just give up now, like there's always going to be that what if, and that's the worst fucking feeling to ever have, bro. I think I'm sorry for cussing.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I cuss in class.
Oh, you cuss in class? All right, fuckity fuck. Yeah. Perfect, fuck. But yeah, just knowing that, like having that thing in the back right here, just like that what if. Oh my God, that would kill me, bro. And just knowing my story, knowing where I came from. My great grandparents were field workers. My great grandparents were immigrants. My grandmother worked very, very hard, to get where she was a nurse. My mother works her ass off. All the women in my family are hardcore women and hardcore business women. Y le echan ganas. They work hard, man. And I think that's the only option, for a lot of, I'm going to say it, for like a lot of Latinos. We just have that pride in us. And, my great grandfather would always tell me, and my mother would always tell me, si quieres algo en la vida, hay que trabajar. If you want anything in life, you have to work, and you have to work hard for it. And I just always understood that whatever I wanted in life, I just have to work hard for it. And it might not always go your way, but you just have to like figure it out as you go, man, and just keep going. You can't stop. You cannot stop. Because people depend on me, and I can't let them down,
Now, what does it mean to you to be a Latino member of the media community? I mean, because we don't see a whole lot of us on TV.
No, we don't.
I stress to my students is that what we see in TV in Los Angeles is drastically different than what we see on TV nationwide. And having that voice and being a Latino in the industry, what does that mean to you? And what type of responsibility do you feel holding that position?
It means a lot, man. It means a lot. Again, it's like we're blessed to live in such a big city like Los Angeles, where it's diverse as hell. And, what you see on TV in LA is definitely a reflection of all the flavors we have in this beautiful city. It means a lot. It means a lot to be a person of color and to be on television and kind of represent not only my people, but just giving a different take and a different look into what we are. We're not just a one-trick pony. We're many things. We're many layers. Latinos are lots of different flavors, man. We could be blonde and blue-eyed. We could look like me, and we could be like, like I have Dominican relatives who are straight up, they just look like they're African American, but they're Dominican and they're Cuban, and you wouldn't even know it. We come in all kinds of flavors, and I love to be able to add to that and add to our story and add to just and to break kind of like those vicious stereotypes and cycles and those perceptions of us, and and just to educate people and let people know that we're here and we're not going to go anywhere, and we are a part of the DNA of not only the city but this country. So, you know, we look at what's happening now with the essential workers, man. If it weren't for field workers, if it weren't for campesinos, we wouldn't even have food on the table.
Exactly.
We have brothers and sisters right now who are working on the fields and delivering us our food, man. We wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for field workers right now, man. We would literally be starving. So we just need to understand that we are here to stay, and we're not going anywhere. And you need to understand that we are a force, and we are just as American as anybody that lives in Nebraska, Oklahoma, or Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Those people are paying taxes as well. So it's a whole other conversation. But yeah, it just means a lot, man. It means a lot. It means a lot to be able to rep my people, and it's an honor, man. It's a great honor. And just for yourself and for everybody who's going to be watching this, when you see a Latino, or you see a person of color, or just any minority on the big screen, small screen, just know that their journeys, it took a lot of fucking hard work to get to where they are. So it's really important to support not only your own, it's good to support each other. And just know that it was a hard fucking journey for us to be here in the positions that we have, to be able to see Chuey Martinez on Fox, for me to have my own talk show, for me to have a production company, for me to be doing the things that I'm doing and having the meetings and creating what I'm creating. It takes a lot of fucking hard work. And to get to where I am, trust me, I've had to jump through a lot of hoops, and it's been rough. It's been rough. It's not an easy road, man. It's not an easy road.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad you brought up that point. One of the things that I talk to my students about when we talk about race and ethnicity, and then we tie it into the media industry, is that a lot of times you see people who look like you and I, right, on the big screen or on the small screen or hosting a show. And in many ways, we're voiceless. And let me clarify what I mean by that. We're not allowed to have opinions as an ethnic and racial minorities, because if we do, and we say, you know what Trump said against Mexicans was wrong. Oh, you can't get political. And it jeopardizes our position within that industry, because people want us to be there, but they don't want us to truly be there and be present.
I tell a lot of non-ethnic people this, and I think it's tough for them to understand it sometimes. There are rules that I have to abide by in the industry that my white colleagues don't have to abide by. I literally have to be perfect. I have to be perfect in everything I do. I have to be perfect in the way I present myself. I have to be perfect. I can't fuck up. Because if you're a person of color in the industry, you don't get many chances to fuck up. Like, that's non-existent. If I were to tweet something tomorrow that was completely just outlandish, and I'd be done. Exactly. It'd be a wrap for Chuey Martinez. Like, if I were to just go on live TV and say something crazy like, nah, bro, like, you need to, sometimes it's tough. It's tough, brother. It's tough, but that's why you gotta be slick, and you have to pick your battles, and you have to weaponize yourself. You have to weaponize yourself, and just weaponize your brand, and weaponize your company, and weaponize everything you're about to say. So when you do come with it, nobody can fuck with you. And if they do, you can kind of be like, you know what, bro, I don't need you. Like, what? I'm unstoppable. Like, what are you gonna do?
Exactly. And I love that you brought that up, because let's see. Are we back?
Go ahead. Yeah,
okay.
We're good.
One of the things that, yeah, definitely. One of the things that I really appreciate about you is that, you know, having heard you on the radio for some time already, and getting to know you from our past discussion, this degree of authenticity, and how do you maintain that authenticity when you have an industry that's essentially trying to mute you, right? And you talked about the hardships associated with being a person of ethnic or racial minority status.
Yeah, you know what? It's it's understanding and knowing who you are as a person.
Gotcha.
And knowing your story and knowing where you come from and having pride, brother. I think that's how it all happens, man. I know who I am as a person. I know who I am as Chuey Martinez. I know who I represent. I know where I come from. I don't have to fluff it up. I don't have to be fake. What you see is what you get with me. That's it. And what you see is what you get is Chuey Martinez, man. A humble cat who worked his ass off and is making shit happen. Like that's and who's trying to like help other people. That's it, man. No hidden agenda with Chuey Martinez. That's just knowing who you are as a person and not compromising, because you will be tested. You will be tested. Societally, in society, or in a professional situation, like you're going to be tested. That's why you have to really know who you are. In any professional situation, like you just have to know who you are, man, because people will test you, bro. People will test you, and people will try to put shackles on you, and you just have to be like, nah, man, that's not gonna happen. But that comes with experience, that comes with age, that comes with a lot of things. If you're an intern at 19 talking about I'm not gonna do that, like you need to chill out, humble yourself. That's where the humility comes in. Chill out. Because you have to learn some things to get to this point. How many degrees do you have to be a professor? Like how many degrees? Like, come on, man. You have to prepare. Again, you have to weaponize yourself. Alberto, you've weaponized yourself, man. You have a million degrees, bro. Like nobody can fuck with you, bro. Like I would, it's simple. It can be complex, but it's actually quite simple. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really appreciate this, because these are the type of words that my students need to hear as they progress through their academic and then professional careers, right? Because there are going to be those forces that are trying to manipulate you. There are going to be those individuals who want you to change into their ideal. But at the end of the day, if you lose your sense of self, who are you? Right? Who are you?
Who are you? Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? That's going to be and especially in media and especially in Hollywood, like, damn, bro. People will test you. Situations will test you. And you just have to know who the hell you are, man. And stick to your guns. Don't compromise yourself, man. Don't compromise yourself. Work hard. Work your ass off. Just shut up and work hard. You'll be fine. And be humble. That's it, man. Be humble. And I think I told you this last time. Like, I tell this to a bunch of kids every time I speak at elementary schools and colleges or whatever. Like, my humility has opened more doors for me and made me more money than any skill I possess. Simple, bro. Be humble, man. Just shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut up. Just shut up and do your job and learn. Learn all you can and be better. Be a good person and be better, man. Just be a good person. Don't be mean. Be nice to everybody. Don't burn a bridge. Woo! I've seen so many people burn bridges. Oh my God. They can't get no work in LA or any city for that matter.
I feel right now like you're giving a commencement speech.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah. Class of 2020. Congratulations. Run. No.
Yeah. No, this is great. I mean, this is real talk right here. And this is something that I know my students are going to appreciate, and I know that I appreciate. Now, just to wrap up this discussion, what projects do you have in the works right now for those that you can share?
Wow. Season two of Chuey Martinez show on the El Rey Network. We start working on that. Corona kind of messed a bunch of things up, but we're regrouping and we're trying to figure that out. Trying to work on a shoot schedule for that. You are more than welcome to come on. We're not going to have a set, but we're going to have some things going on. So I'll let you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Just more Chuey Martinez show on the El Rey Network. More Dish Nation on Fox. You can hear me more on the radio. More writing, more projects, some film projects in the works. Like it's kind of nuts right now. I'm really blessed, and just real blessed to be able to keep working in these crazy times. So I just got a lot going on, man, and just trying to keep it cool, man. Not trying to go crazy. Not trying to drive my girlfriend crazy either, and my dog. I think both of them want to kick me out already. But yeah, just trying to keep it cool, man, and work hard, brother.
Yeah, your dog's a celebrity. I believe your dog has Instagram as well. I see you
My
posting.
yes, my dog does have a Instagram. Bosley and Brutus. Bosley and at Bosley the Bulldog. What's the Instagram? Bosley the Bull at Bosley the Bulldog. Yeah, go check him out. That's
Nice.
my baby. That's my baby Brutus and all the Bulldog. I do a lot of work with SoCal Bulldog Rescue, and we do a lot of stuff with that organization. They find homes for a bunch of bulldogs who have been abandoned, don't have homes. It's kind of nuts. So don't buy puppies. Adopt, y'all. Adopt pets. Adopt animals.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you don't mind plugging your social media so that if students, want to send you a message or anything, they can get in contact with you.
Yeah, you guys hit me up, please, if you have your questions or whatever you want to shadow me one day at work. Once we start going to work again, you guys can all hit me up, DM me, ask me questions, whatever, man. At Chuey Martinez. That's Chuey Martinez. That's for Snapchat. Snapchat. Yeah, I'm on Snapchat. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. Hit me up. I do have a TikTok too, but I barely use it. I don't do any funny dancing videos or anything or pranks. Don't do none of that. Don't prank my mom or grandma or anybody. You can hit me up at Chuey Martinez, Chuey. And same thing, Chuey Martinez at Gmail. If you just want to shoot me an email, like holler at your boy. I got you.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate everything. I'm
very welcome,
super excited to share this video with my students. And, anything you need in the future, especially in regards to education.
Thanks, man.
You got my contact information. Let's definitely connect.
I appreciate you, brother. And yeah, once this Rona calms down and we can actually like interact as humans, I'd love to come to your class and come hang out, man.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. All right, have a great day. Man. Stay safe.
Berto, thank you, brother.
All right, peace.
Peace out, Doug.
All right, peace. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks.